Hello, hola, ayo. My name is Kenny, and this is Stoner Camera Review number 2. And what I got here is a Nikon F4. It's got an MD20 finder, and picked out for a pretty good price. And the LCD prism has a bit of a leak. But before we get to that, let me talk about smoking some weed. So some people had asked me if I should talk about the strands of weed I'm smoking. I don't have a strand of weed I'm smoking. It's from my backyard. I grow my own weed, so this is just shit from the ground you smoke. Gets you high, does the job, good. Okay, let's talk about cameras. What I like about the Nikon F4. It's a pretty sturdy camera. I bought this with the intention of having a camera that I don't have to leave in my bag. Something that can kind of take a beating and has kind of all the conveniences of autofocus, manual focus. Not to mention the Nikon F4 takes the most lenses probably out of Nikon cameras, film or digital. It takes a whole whack of lenses, I think up till 1950s. So it kind of goes back to the it's a nice. I've always worn a Nikon F4. Truth be told, I thought it was an insanely overbuilt camera at first, especially when you get the battery grip underneath. But when I kind of first saw the Nikon F4 and I held it without the grip, I was like, this is a really nice camera. I would love to have one like. I would like to have a very legendary piece of Nikon equipment. This F4 is just amazing. Built around the time where like you don't need an LCD to look at shit. The menu is completely. The dials are there to do everything, and the menus don't exist. There's no quick settings, menus, everything on board, buttons, dials, things you push, shit like that. Even the rewind, you have an optional manual rewind or auto rewind. So I don't know. What are the things I like about this camera? The viewfinder is amazing. It's clear, very easy to look through, very stress-free to look through. One-point autofocus. I can't show you the prism because you can't look through it. I don't think, but we'll try. I don't know. Fuck. Great prism. Very uncluttered kind of style of shooting when you look through the prism. Mine has an LCD leak, which is a little annoying, but one of the few Nikon cameras that has a removable prism. Really cool. It will still autofocus with the waist level, and I've been kind of playing around. I've been dicking around with that quite a lot just to see what kind of angles you can get. And it's a great practice for like shooting TLRs. I don't ever use my TLR. I got a Yashica, but I don't shoot it as often as I should. And I always confuse myself when I shoot waist level cameras. I've got some Fuji Superior 200 in there right now. It's a loud camera. I mean, there's a quiet mode, which gives you like a 1 frame per second shooting mode, and it's supposedly quieter, so maybe I'll take a few shots. Yeah, both on a regular mode and a quiet mode, you can kind of tell. I mean, the difference isn't huge, but it's there. You got your mode dials. We're just going to go to aperture priority, 2.8, and just do a few shots. This is going to be single shot. Little sound check on the shutter. Bam. This is the quiet mode. It's the same photo, so it's a flutter. It's kind of cool. All the dials are lockable, which is great. I don't know, what's this look like? There you go. Okay. You got your drive modes. lock is shut down. But amazing thing cool about this camera, you can leave it on any mode. This is what I've heard. I don't know. You can leave it on modes, and when you come back to it a week later, it doesn't drain your battery. You can pick it up years later, and it doesn't drain the battery, which is kind of cool. I love these autofocus cameras from the era where AA batteries were very prevalent, and this is one of the beauties. I mean, you gotta like go to the camera store and buy like little lithium-ion batteries. 4 AA's does the job. It's a little heavier. You pay a little weight penalty for that, but you'll never run out of AAs. So that's kind of cool. It does mirror lock up. It does a whole whack of shit that it has a time mode. It does a lot for a camera, and this is definitely one of the points where I don't think any Nikon camera has taken this big of a step in whether it's film or digital SLR. So it's a pretty landmark camera. I really love it. It's built solid. It's a tank. The focus, surprisingly, if you pick it up, the focusing is simple, but it doesn't feel like a relic. It really does work. I don't know what the fuck else to say about this camera. What else? I mean, I don't know. I've put a roll through here already, and I'm gonna go to my lab actually after this to pick up some film. And with any luck, I might be able to get some scans in if I get around to editing this tomorrow. I can probably add some shots. Oh wow, this is gravy. And it also has a DX mode, which scans for the ISO on your film can. So if you're a stoner like me, you like using manual cameras for fun, and when you're stoned, DX helps. Yeah, you can put a lot of film through this camera and have fun with it, because it's a tank. I mean, I'm really curious about the durability of this camera, and I kind of want to just hopefully have it as an everyday carry camera, at least until my neck gets sore. But yeah, if I were to go out shooting, and I do a lot of event work and wedding work, but I mean, when I go out shooting, I like having 2 bodies. I like having light primes. My favorite focal lengths are 35 and 50. And what I usually shoot event wedding work wise is 2 bodies, 35-50 for most of my work. And I have an 8008, as you can see in the previous review, that the 2 pair up really nicely to work with the 35 and 50. So it's a great camera. What can I even say that's bad about it? I don't know. I mean, I did shots where I'm not sure if that's even programmable, but I've got film in there and I kind of don't want to waste it. But for whatever reason, if you shoot a single shot, the drive goes and focuses. It hunts after a while, even if you've held the shutter back in its halfway to lock the focus, so to speak. It still hunts, and I'm not sure that's something I could turn off or what. The initial, for the most part, as someone who knows a fair bit about manual Nikons and digital Nikons, I really tried hard to pick this camera up and not read the manual, kind of figure out everything and how it worked. And the drive modes make a lot of sense. I wasn't sure that the S stood for silent. The PH mode is like a program mode that does some kind of a shutter speed or aperture preference. That I didn't know. Couldn't figure out why the compensation dials buttons are extra stiff, and that's just so you don't accidentally change your exposure comp dial. And the stiffness of different dials of this particular dial is different, and that's just really goes to say what Nikon will really put a lot of thought into making a camera that has very minimal electronic connection to the experience of photography, like looking through menus, Shit like that. And the dials and the different kind of like stiffness and the way the buttons click, everything is just, I mean, there is no better kind of dial. This is a really nice dial. It's firm, it locks, there is no jiggle. I mean, this is probably as good as Nikon ever made dials, until they went digital with menu buttons and such, and wheels. So it's this is my stone review of Nikon F4. My name is Kenny, and I talk about weird cameras and I get high. Talk to you soon. Bye.